Hi everyone, welcome back to today's video and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Onyeka, and if you're returning, thank you very much for returning. Please don't forget to turn on your post notification if you haven't, just so you get notified whenever I post a new video. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about what affects your credit score and how you can boost your credit score. I have been in Canada for 2 years now and my credit score has been in the dungeon. So I flew all the way to Toronto to come see a friend, and I'm going to allow him to introduce himself.
Hey everyone, my name is Ozo, and well, as Onyeka mentioned, we will be going over Onyeka's credits today, just discussing what affects her credit score or credit score in general, how you can improve your credit score and get it to be better.
How can we make our credit score better? Because honestly, sometimes it can get depressing. This month is doing great, and the next month is just looking not pleasant at all. And with good credit scores, you're able to secure if you want to get a house or get a car. I just know that credit scores are a thing in this part of the world. So yeah, just let us know everything.
We will just jump right into it. So
Yeah.
overall, your credit is affected by numerous factors. This can be your credit utilization, payment history, your credit age, your credit variety, the kind of inquiries that happens on your credit. So these are some factors that would impact your credit score or your credits in general. So are you ready?
Yeah.
Are you ready for this?
I think I am.
Okay.
So what he's going to be doing is just going to review my credit history and just let me know what I should do better or where I'm going wrong.
Your credit is in the dustbin. Let us start from there. It's not actually bad, but for sure it can always be better. Mine too can be better.
Okay.
And I also review my credit report from time to time to see what I am doing well, what I can improve upon, and what's impacting my credit score based on like that time frame. To begin with, I'll just start with utilization. Based on the amount of credit you have available to you, you can then make use of that credit to make purchases and the rest. So the basic form of credit that most people have is the credit card. So that is just one type of credit. And since that's what most people have or start out with when they immigrate to different parts of the world, it usually will be a very low amount. So when I came, available credit was 500 Canadian.
Yeah,
so if I max it out, well, that your credit score is low. Because utilization is one major factor that impacts your credit. And it's advised to use about 30% of your available credit. So don't exceed that amount for like monthly or based on when your credit is reported. Keeping the utilization low is very helpful in building your credits in the long run. Yeah, so that's one major thing you need to keep track of. And keep your utilization low on the monthly. So you can have a set amount. It must not necessarily be 30%, but it should be something in that range. Yeah, so 30 is not like a hard fixed amount. Just keep it low.
So are you going to advise like all our transactions when it comes to like water bill, house rent, should we let them come directly from our credit card? Or because what I was told initially when I came was that you should make sure you're making use any purchases you're trying to do, make it come from your credit card, so it just keeps on. But then I find out that sometimes it's doing great and other times it's doing not so great. Well, until you told me that I should just make it like 30%. My credit card was tied together with my Apple Pay on my phone, so I found out that I was making use of it almost every day because I had to buy things, and my credit score was just all over the place. So, what advice do you give with regards to that?
Your credit utilization, payments you will make on a day-to-day, depending on what your available credit is, just try to keep it at a low utilization. So, for instance, 30%. It may not be possible to put every single thing you've mentioned. For instance, maybe your rent on a credit card. I've not seen that happen, and I personally have not been able to do that. So every possible transaction may not be able to go on your credit card. But for items that can go, so for instance, grocery shopping.
Okay.
When you go to the store, buy items, you can just pay all of that with your credit card, and then at the end of the period, you pay off your credit balance. So any item that you can put there, as long as it doesn't take your utilization to an unreasonably high amount, then that's fine. You can make use of credit card for payments like that. Keeping in mind what your credit availability is.
Yeah.
So for instance, if you have 500, you probably won't go grocery shopping, go out eating go out clubbing and all these kind of things and put them on 500.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
probably will mess up the utilization. So something you can just do is you can say, okay, I have this fixed amount that I pay, and it's maybe $50 for something, and just put only that on your credit card if your credit availability is low, until you have like more credit available to you, maybe by getting another credit card or increasing your available credits with the same credit provider.
Oh, getting another credit card is also an option, right?
Yep, for sure. I actually did that recently, so I got another credit card because I realized getting another one was going to just help me further build my credits. And so far, so good. My credit score has improved since I got the new credits. So, still on utilization of your credit and your credit availability, as much as we would want to, or it would be nice to put a lot of items on your credit card, you also need to just keep in mind that you have an utilization that affects your score. So, keeping it low, put as much as you can without taking your utilization too high. So that's something to be, watchful of or careful of when putting items on your credit card. So, for instance, what you were doing, you had it as your Apple Pay, so you're just tapping and swiping. Oh yeah. So first thing we did was we just took that out of Apple Pay, which is something you can also do.
And I noticed when I did that, my credit score for that month actually went. It became better because honestly, I was just. Anyway, if I walk into the store, I just tap, and my credit score was something else. Yes, so that was actually a good one.
Something else that would affect your credit is payment history.
Okay.
So, for instance, the way you use your credit card every month, just focus on the credit card for now. The way the credit card system works is you utilize the credit card for a period of time, and then at the end of that period, you get your statement showing how much you're meant to pay.
Yeah.
And this statement also shows, you can make the minimum payment of $10. It's usually $10. Please don't do that. Just don't do that. Try to pay off your full balance at the end of every period, or if it's monthly, every month.
I was kind of confused about that full balance, statement balance, and all those things. What in particular are they paying off? There's a part for full balance, there's a part for statement payment period, or something like that. I can't really remember. So, what are they actually paying off from the credit?
Okay, so what I realized over time is that different credit providers tend to use different names for the same thing. Some people call it your payment due. Some people call it your statement balance. Some people call it your credit balance. So whatever it is, the balance that shows that this is the amount or the amount you're owing at the end of that period. If it's $5, $10, 1,000, 10,000, whatever it shows as amount due. Or
amount due.
Yeah, it's usually amount due.
Okay.
That's the amount you should be paying off every month. It might be different from your current balance as at that date, just because there's a close date and then a few more days before your balance gets posted. So you might make other transactions within that period after it has closed. So your balance will continue to count, but it will fall into the payment for that cycle.
Okay, I think that was
that's what causes confusion. So whatever shows as the payment amount or amount due, I'll just use amount due. Amount due for that period is what you should be paying off, and that's it. That's all you need to pay off. You don't need to do any gymnastics trying to pay off 2 days before this, pay half. You honestly don't need any of that. Yeah, so usually there's a date, so it's like pay by the 26th of February. So whatever that date is, just make sure you've made that payment by that date. So what I do is I usually will send the money about 2 or 3 days before that payment date. Sometimes I pay it on that exact date, just because I give time for the interbank transfer, things like that.
Yeah.
It doesn't. I've realized it doesn't have an impact. To be honest, it will still get posted at the right time, but just pay it off like a day or 2 before. That's fine. I know some people will say pay off half 2 weeks before the day that. You don't need that stress. Just you don't need that stress. So, for instance, if your available credit is 500, you don't need to pay 500 every month. You need to just pay off what you've used, and that's it.
Okay.
So if you use $20 of 500, and then at the end of that period or that month, your amount due is $20. All you need to pay off is $20, not 500. Still on payment history, the more you pay off your balance on time, the better it is for your credit score, because it shows that you have a history, or you're building a history of paying your debt.
Okay.
So it's good when there's a credit check that's done on you, or background check, and they see, okay, yeah, this person pays their debt. So going forward, we can have a sense that they will continue to do this thing.
For those that don't really know about all this credit thing, what are the perks of having a good credit score?
I'll just start by saying a lot. Having a good credit score, especially in the Americas or North America, it's so important because almost every financial transaction you have to do that involves another party is centered on your credits. If you have bad credits, I will have the feeling that you're not really trustworthy. So I don't know you. If I don't know you personally, and we're about to do a financial transaction, the best estimate I have out there to show that you are good with money or you're good with your finances is your credit report or your credit worthiness. So that's the best thing I can look at. I can go out there and ask people about you, which is kind of like what your credit report is. The credit bureau is asking people, asking all these different merchants, how is this person with the money you've given to them to use? Are they paying you back? Are they skipping out and just piling up debt and things like that? So it's kind of like the trust the financial system has in you. So that's what your credit score or credit report is. Make your payments, don't skip out on it. Credit is not free money. Pay back what you borrow. Moving on to the next point, which is also tied to your credit worthiness, is your collections. So it can get to a point where you're owing someone and it's so bad and they feel it has become like bad debt where it's no longer collectible. So they will sell that debt off to a collections agency. So the agency will buy the amount for usually cheap. So it's kind of like a situation where the financial institution feels this person is not going to give us this money and we're never going to get it back. So let's sell it to this collections agency for cheap and we at least get some. And then the collections agency will then come after you and try to get the money back. They will do everything. They will call you and disturb you. It's so crazy. I actually got a call from them once when it was not for me. So I actually got a call from them once when I recently moved to Canada. They called and we were like, let me just use John. They were like, hi, good day, is this John? And I'm like, no, this is not John. And they were like, you owe us money. And these people went on, they were like, yeah, you have this debt that has not been paid. And I'm like, look, I recently got this phone number and I don't know what you're asking for. This is a new line. And the person was like, okay, and they ended the call. Luckily, I didn't receive any further calls after that. But what I suspected was someone who probably used that number in the past before it got recycled is owing someone out there and now the payment is in collections. So, yeah, you can experience something like that if your credit goes to collections. And you also may get a derogatory remark. So, for instance, when your credit report is pulled, it will show that, okay, X has this transaction, they failed to pay up, things like that. So, there's like a bad report on your credit report, and that would affect your credit score. So, these different points will impact your credit to different degrees. So, some of them have like a low degree of impact, some of them are medium, some of them are quite high. So, the weighting is done by the credit agencies. They know how they do their thing to give you a credit score. So there's a whole calculation that goes on in the background. So I'm just going through Onyeka's reports, just to see what she's doing well and what can be improved on. Payment history is good, 100%. Currently, she pays her debt and has never missed a payment. Credit utilization for the current period is about 28%. Which is wonderful. And she has 0 derogatory remarks, so no one out there is looking for their money. She's not owing anyone, no debt. She has one hard inquiry, and I'm suspecting this will be when she opened the credit card. They probably would have just done this just to confirm she has no credit history out there. Probably when you came as a student, opened it up and all of that. So that's probably where this is from. The credit age shows when you got your first credit item. So for you, that would have been your credit card. The age starts to count then, so like your credit account opens at that period. Another thing to note here is it's good from time to time to go through your credit reports. You can get it from any of the providers. I think you're allowed 1 free report per year.
Thank you very much for getting to this part of the video. If you want to see more of this kind of video, I feel I should do more finance related videos. So many people need to know about their finances, especially in a country like this. Please don't forget to leave a comment, give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you guys in my next video.
And remember, this is not the end of the video.
Oh yeah, this is not the end of the video. Continue the rest of the video on Ozil's channel. I'll leave a link to his YouTube channel in the description box down below.
Alright, Bye.